Every single word you speak is self-hypnosis. Every single thing you say out of your own mouth is almost more important than the things you hear from other people.
Amen.
You can't be sitting there saying, I'm depressed. I got a generational curse. I'm unlucky, bro. You can't be saying these things because you're reaffirming them within your mind. The things I believe and the way I view the world and the mindset I've adopted has been created to be the most effective version of a mindset, which is going to allow me to perform. It's like the software you install within yourself. I've installed an operating system which allows me to perform at the absolute highest levels. I think that how successful you are in life isn't usually linked to IQ. You can be stupid and successful. And it's certainly linked to energy levels. But one of the most important things that's going to determine how successful you are in life is how much stress you can adopt. The more stress you can adopt, the more problems you're solving. And I tell you now, 99% of the people watching this stream would collapse under 5% of the daily bullshit I deal with. Every single day. I'm either at the desk, at a meeting, running back and forth on the phone, dealing with millions and millions of dollars and bullshit that it never ends. And the more stress you can adopt, the more successful you're going to be. And I'm just that guy. And I've been that guy my whole life. I'm that guy that everyone who knows me, all my family, every woman I know, they all come to me with their problems. They throw shit on top of my, I'm just a problem solver. It's just who I've always been. And if you want to be that person, you have to have a certain mindset. And that's what my mindset is. It's not even about, well, this is what's interesting. It's not even about truth. And I know that sounds crazy. It's not so much of me looking and going, what's true? It's more about me believing in what I need to believe to be as successful as possible. Another thing that's really important, I say this all the time, nearly every word that comes out of my mouth is self-hypnosis. Every word that comes out of my mouth is self-hypnosis. And it's the same for everybody watching this. Every single word you speak is self-hypnosis. Every single thing you say out of your own mouth is almost more important than the things you hear from other people.
Amen.
You can't be sitting there saying, I'm depressed. I got a generational curse. I'm unlucky, bro. You can't be saying these things because you're reaffirming them within your mind. I don't do that. You have two choices as a man. You either realize the truth about reality and understand how the matrix is suppressing you and affecting your mind. You either wake up and you are now in battle against the matrix itself, or you accept the programming. When you accept the programming, the battle doesn't end because you're in a battle against your own mind. If you believe they want you to believe, you're unhappy, you're depressed, you're miserable. So you're either fighting against yourself inside of your own mind, living in some semi-depressed state, sitting on the internet, talking complete bullshit in these liberal hate mobs, or you understand the truth about what's happening and you're in the war against the matrix. You are one, hypnotizing yourself to believe you have it. One. Two, giving a bunch of power to this outside source instead of believing the power inside of yourself. And three, not just being realistic enough to know that I feel a certain way and I feel this way because of my life circumstances. And if I change my life circumstances, perhaps my mindset might change. Genuinely, every single person watching this, go look in the mirror after this stream, go into the bathroom, look in the mirror. Do you deserve to be happy? Look yourself in the eye. The answer is probably not. You don't deserve it.
Bam.
When you're hungry, it's your body telling you need to eat some food. That's fine. You react to that. When you're depressed, your body's telling you need to change your life. And if you're feeling that for long periods of time and then not changing your life, well, you don't deserve to be happy. You don't deserve it. Everything in life that is valuable must be earned. Peace of mind must be earned. Happiness must be earned. Happiness is the number one thing that must be earned. And I'll tell you that my happiness is based on very real world achievements. I couldn't be happy if I was broke. I couldn't be happy if I was obese. I couldn't be happy if I was lonely. I couldn't be happy if I wasn't respected. I couldn't be happy if I couldn't whoop a dude's ass. I couldn't be happy in those scenarios. So I made sure none of them scenarios came true. I have earned my happiness via hard work. It's the top of a mountain, which I have climbed. I deserve it. I deserve to go to sleep with a smile on my face. That's what I deserve. The universe is very giving and very fair. People seem to think that the world is unfair, and those are all the same people who tell themselves they're unlucky. I actually believe the opposite. I believe the universe is a very giving place. I believe God is a very giving being, and that the world all in all generally balances out and is pretty fair. If you're the kind of person who deserves a good life and works and genuinely wants it and tries very hard, guess what you get 99% of the time? A good life. And if you're the kind of person who doesn't really deserve it, slacks 3 days a week, a little bit lazy, snakes his friends, talks behind people back, blah, 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 guess what? Your life ain't all that good. The universe is pretty fair and pretty balanced. I've yet to meet somebody who gets up every day, does what they're supposed to do, works hard, goes to the gym, then goes to work, does their best, makes their money, looks after it, is sensible, doesn't blow it, et cetera, who then fails. I've never met anybody who fails when they do all the right things. The universe is a very fair and giving place all in all. There are very few exceptions to that. So when I see somebody who doesn't have the success they want, especially when I see, let's say, a group of people who don't have the success they want, there's no way you're all exceptions to that rule. You may want something, but you certainly don't deserve it. And that's why you don't have it. When you're heartbroken, when you're truly heartbroken, you can't even sleep. and your mind is constantly preoccupied. And instead of seeing that as a negative, what you need to do is use that as a source of unlimited power. If I was truly heartbroken today, let's imagine, and I could barely sleep, I'd be in better shape than I've ever been. I'd train like a fucking animal. You have to just take the energy inside of you. Energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be converted, whether it's heat into light or momentum into friction or however you want to put it, right? Energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be converted from one form to another. And you have to look at that and understand that the sadness inside of you is energy. You can't destroy it, but you can convert it into something else which is constructive. And you just have to suck it up, buttercup, and get over it. Yeah. The answer to 99% of questions or conundrums or scenarios that people come up and ask me, 99% of the time, the answer is work harder. My girl left me. What do I do? Hit the gym. My friend died. What do I do? Become exceptional. I'm sad. What do I do? Train. Like, the answer is nearly universal. Yep. It's always working harder is never going to not help. No matter what scenario you're in, working harder is never going to not help you. And it's amazing that I give different versions of the same answer for 99% of the questions I'm asked. Work harder. If you have a problem, whether you're broke, whether you're out of shape, whether your friend dies, whether your girl leaves you, whether you're depressed, whatever it is, working harder is almost always the answer. So you know what you need to do. You need to do it. And what's amazing, again, it's kind of like the antidote. If you take the antidote before the poison, then you never get sick in the first place. If you're always working as hard as possible, if you're always working, trying to be the best version of yourself every single day, then you never get sick in the first place. You're already working. You're already taking the antidote. So things can't attach to you. They can't get hold of you. So if you're working as hard as possible all of the time, then you already have all your answers before the problems even appear. I was working off before the Matrix canceled me. And then the Matrix canceled me and I continued to work. And here I am, more famous than I was before the cancellation. Why? Because I already had momentum. I already had speed. I'd already taken the antidote to cancellation before they hit me with the poison. Working hard is the antidote to everything. So why don't you just do it in advance? Why don't your life just become work like mine? Why don't you just dedicate yourself to a cause and get up and do what you're supposed to do every single day? If you do that, there's very little weapons that the Matrix can forge to attack you with. It's genuinely true. It's small doses of poison, so that it's the olden emperors of Rome used to eat small doses of poison with every single meal. So then when they got poisoned for real, they didn't die. And that's it. If you're raised too soft, then you're not ready for the world. Like, I had to face all my fears instantly all the time. That's who my father was. So now if I have a fear to face now as a man, my entire life, I've just faced them instantly. That's just who I am. It's what I do. Right. Yeah. My father was a disciplinarian, but he was also extremely and utterly fair. There's no way he could be deemed unfair. There's no way he could be deemed abusive, but he was certainly a disciplinarian. That's who he was as a person. And he taught lessons harshly and quickly. It was more about the quality of the lesson than the quantity. If I went to my father and said, I'll tell a story I've never told before. I was staying around my friends. I was telling him I'm staying around my friend's house. We've been playing Nintendo. We're about to go to bed. My friend was called Ryan, I remember, and Ryan started screaming at his mom, mom, nightlight. So she puts on this nightlight. And I was like, why? What's that? He goes, it's a nightlight because I'm scared of the dark. I must have only been about 5. I was like, all right, cool. I remember going home to my dad and saying, hey, Dad, can I have a nightlight? He's like, no. I was like, but I'm scared of the dark. And I remember he was playing chess. When I said I was scared of the dark, he looked at me. And it was nighttime. He took my ass up to my bedroom, locked me in the bedroom in the dark, said, there's monsters in there, son. Good luck. See you tomorrow. And I screamed and cried. And I'd never been scared of the dark before. I'd never been scared of the dark. But my friend had a nightlight. Now I want a nightlight. Now I'm scared of the dark. I screamed and cried all night. I must have screamed and cried for an hour and a half before I eventually fell asleep. Guess what? I never asked for a nightlight again. I never complained again. And guess what? I stopped being scared of the dark. Within a day. That was Monday. Now it's Tuesday. I know what Dad's going to do. So am I going to even ask? No, it's bedtime. I'm just going to go to bed. So he instantly cured me of my bullshit. I could have been scared of the dark for years, like every other fucking toddler. But I was just like, oh, well, you face your fear, get over it. I cried my eyes out and realized, oh shit, I'm not going to die. It is what it is. So that's how he was as a person. And I think that's the best way to teach children. I cannot wait to have sons to do exactly that. I cannot wait for my son to come and say he's scared of the dark. I'm going to say, boy, you're going to the dark right now. There's monsters in there. Remember that movie you watched? Yeah, the goblins, the orcs, they're in there, son. Can you punch? Can you fight? No, Dad, can you fight? Yeah. That's how it is. But that's going to make him the best version of himself.
Yeah.
I would never rob my son of the opportunity of growing up to being that man. There's something that's so brilliant, so it's satisfying to your core. It's like an evolutionary adaptation, when you feel genuine competence as a man, there's something that oozes from you. Look at James Bond. The reason James Bond is James Bond is because he's good at everything. He can drive, he can fight, he can shoot. He's got all this money. He's smart. He's suave. He's, you know, he's a millionaire, whatever. That there's something about having competence as a man that genuinely satisfies your soul. How can I go to sleep and be sad at night when I know that I'm one of the baddest on the planet? When I know there's not a single scenario in which somebody paired against me will be happy about the pairing. It doesn't matter what it is. I can't imagine life as a man who wasn't competent, but I know for sure it must be miserable. It must be miserable. You're a feather in the wind. You're just being blown by the tides of life, and you're just getting knocked from place to place. And you've handed all control of your life over to somebody else. And those people who you've handed control over to, whether it's the government, whether it's your job, whether whoever it is, they care about you less than you should care about yourself. And it's just a bad decision to make. I do not see the advantage in me taking all the amazing lessons I had and the fantastic lifestyle I've built and keeping it all completely and utterly for myself and disappearing. That's what a insecure person would do. That's what a sad person would do. I'll give you an example. If I meet a rich guy who's like a fat, short dork, he never wants to tell people how to get rich. If you ever talk to like a fat, short dork guy who has a bunch of money and you ask him how to make money, oh yeah, well, he'll give you some bullshit answer because he knows the only differentiator he has is money. That's all he has. If other people make money, then he ain't going anymore. Whereas me, I'll tell the whole world how to get rich. You can get as rich as you want. I'm still top G.
Right.
I don't care how much money you have. I'll smack you up. It doesn't make a difference to me, right? So when you genuinely are happy within yourself, you're prepared to help other people. I want everybody watching this stream to be as confident and fantastic with women as possible. Do you think I give if the 16,000 people watching this all become Casanovas? You think I'm going to be walking around thinking I'm getting no? You think I'm scared? I love helping the world because I have genuine happiness within myself. I want every single person watching this stream to be as successful as possible. I talk about this all the time. One of the things that differentiates the people who listen to me and like my content and fans of mine, as opposed to my enemies or my opponents, is that the people who listen to me genuinely have better lives. I want somebody to walk through life and them to go, look, his life's in order. Look, he's in fantastic shape. He's rich. He's confident. His head's held high. He must be a Tate fan. That's what I want. I want as many of my fans to be as successful as possible. That's why I have the things I have, the programs I have, and sell the things I do, because they're all completely and utterly dedicated towards the success of the people who understand my message. I'm not trying to detriment on anybody who believes in me. I want Tate fans to be the most capable, well put together, the most financially literate fans on the planet. I'm out here to help as many people as possible. And I think it's a fantastic badge of honor for me to sit here and say that my fans are some of the most financially literate, well-off, educated, charismatic men on the planet. That's what I want for a Tate fan. I don't want anything else. I want the best for every single one of them.